So the square root symbol, the square root is sqrt, okay, square root, the square root of mu multiplied by the rest. So mu is b mu. Okay, I want to multiply this by 2 divided by the altitude, so 2 divided by SA, the ship altitude, plus, no, not plus, minus 1 divided by the semi-major axis. Hello, this is Philip, and welcome to my channel for this new episode of kOS. Today we're going to talk about the Hohmann transfer. Here I'm in a circular orbit, not really circular, but quite circular orbit. And the apophysis is 500 kilometers, and I want to decrease that apophysis to get a new orbit at 100 kilometers. So I want to create here a maneuver node with kOS, of course, and I want to decrease my periapsis to 100 kilometers. And for that, I need kOS to compute the value of the delta V needed here for my maneuver node. For this, I will use that formula here, up here, that function we have created some episodes ago, and that function compute velocity gives you the velocity of your ship with one given orbit. That means you need to say what is the periapsis of your orbit, what is the apoapsis, and for any altitude of your ship in that orbit, you can have the velocity. So how can you do that? Here I want to know the velocity of my craft, of my ship, when it is on that orbit and exactly on the apoapsis. Okay, so I can know the actual velocity of my ship in the apoapsis. Then I want to know, if I do a maneuver like that, I want to know, all right, with that new orbit, what will be the velocity of my apoapsis with that orbit. And the difference between the first velocity and that second velocity is the delta V needed, here 214. And that kind of transfer from one orbit to another is the Hohmann transfer. So I need to create a function. So here, let me create a global function called like Hohmann transfer, right? I am in my orbit calculations script here. It is saved in the library folder. And then in my mission, I have to, here the mission is basics. I need to run one pass 0 lib and orbit calculations. Of course, to do that, I need to have a connection with the KSC. If I don't have any connection with KSC, I can't run my orbit calculation from the archive. Okay, so for the Hohmann transfer, I need two things, and only two things. I need to know what is my actual altitude, okay, so what is my ship altitude, and what is the target altitude, okay. And then I have a local initial velocity. Okay, for now, let's say it's 0. I have the local final velocity, okay, 0, 2, and the delta V needed and for now it's 0, 2. The initial velocity is easy to compute, so set initial vel to it is compute velocity, okay, and I just need to write the actual orbit of my ship. So the actual orbit of my ship is a ship orbit periapsis, okay, and ship orbit apoapsis, and then the ship alt. Instead of writing here local initial vel is 0, I could have directly set initial vel to that thing. Okay. Right. Then the final velocity depends on my target altitude and my ship altitude. If my ship altitude is lower than the target altitude, that means that here, for example, my target altitude is less than my ship altitude. So in this case, my apoapsis, the apoapsis of my actual orbit will be the apoapsis of my new orbit, right? But if I want to raise my periapsis, then my actual apoapsis will be the new periapsis of my new orbit. And this is important. So here, the final velocity, here set final vel, the final velocity will be compute velocity, right? And I said that if my ship altitude is less than my target altitude, that means that my actual altitude will be the periapsis of my new orbit. So here I have to write ship altitude. The apoapsis of my new orbit will be my target altitude, this one. And I want the velocity at my ship altitude. Okay, so like this, and else set a final vel to so in this case, my if the ship altitude is greater than the target altitude, then the ship altitude will be the apoapsis, and the target altitude becomes the periapsis of my new orbit. Okay, and then I just have to set delta V needed to final vel minus initial vel, and then I return delta V needed. Okay, and to be sure that all works well, during my when I use the Hohmann transfer, I can print some information. So for example, here I can do print things like this. So I can write a print like this. Okay, I can write the initial velocity, the final velocity, and the delta V needed. Okay, so we can try this inside that script. Okay, here Hohmann transfer, okay, returns a number. Okay, so there. Okay, let's local my delta V. Okay, for example, is, and I want to use the Hohmann transfer function, and for that I have to write my actual ship altitude and then my target altitude. Okay, so here from the game, I want to lower my periapsis from the apoapsis. So for that, I need to say that my ship altitude is my actual apoapsis, okay, and my new periapsis is the altitude I want, and I want 100 kilometers, right? And I just have to reboot here. So initial velocity 1791 meters per second. The final velocity is that number, and the delta V needed is negative 211 meters per second. Okay, let's see that. I want to go here near my apoapsis. I want to check if my initial velocity is that number, and because my orbit is quite circular, that number is that number here, and we are very close. Okay, you see that 0.3, and here I have 0.26. Okay, and negative. Okay, so I can add a maneuver node here, and I can change directly here, negative 211.49. And doing this, my new periapsis is not exactly 100 kilometers, but it's 99.996 meters. Okay, if I want to be more precise, I can do this. And instead of rounding my delta V to 2 digits in the decimal port, I can say, for example, 5 digits. And then I can reboot. And now I see that the number needed here, it's more precisely 211.48754. Okay, and now my periapsis is exactly 100 kilometers. I can create now a new maneuver node. Okay, so let me create a new function, global function. I want to create a function. I like to call it go to from something. Okay, so this is a global function, and that function needs 2 parameters. The first parameter is the 2, so it's the target altitude. And the second parameter, so parameter target altitude, and the second parameter is the from altitude. And in case I use the Hohmann transfer from my apoapsis or my periapsis only. So the from altitude is either periapsis or apoapsis. So for example, I can set the default value of my from altitude apoapsis. Okay, and I want to create a new node. Okay, so it's node, for example, 0000 for now, right? And then I want to use my transfer here. So if my from alt is equal to AP, that means that I want to from the apoapsis of my orbit, I want to reach the target altitude. Okay, so if it's that, and say, for example, here local new delta V is 0 for now. Okay, so I want to set my new delta V to the Hohmann transfer function here. And for that, I need the ship altitude and the target altitude. And the from altitude is AP. So here it's ship orbit apoapsis. And the target altitude is my target altitude here. All right, so I want to set delta V to that. And then I create my node. So set new node. To node, so time seconds plus the ETA apoapsis. Okay, And then it's radial, normal, and prograde. So 0, 0, and then my new node here. Okay, and else, that means that my from altitude is PE. In fact, if I write anything else than AP, I will consider that in my script as PE, as periapsis. So here, you can change a default value and set this for a number. Okay, but I already always use my go-to from a function in the apoapsis or periapsis. So here periapsis, and this is here periapsis. Okay, and then I want to add new node. Okay, that should work. I have a little variable new div was not used. I think that script works well. So here, just here, I just want to write sorry, go to from, and sorry, I don't want to add new node, I want to return new node. Okay, so that go to from creates a node, and I want to return that node. All right, and here I want to create, okay, local my node, why not, is, and go to from. So here I want to go to 100 from the AP, but I don't need to write that. Okay, and then I can write my node add. It's add my node, should be like this, and then I want to execute. So what is the name of my function here? Execute maneuver, and the parameter is a node, right? So execute maneuver my node, right? And that maneuver is from the MNV scripts, right? And I don't need this. Okay, so let's see that. I can wait 2 seconds here. All right. Oh, let me delete all those numbers. Okay, right. I have the connection with the KSC here, so I can reboot my file. Okay, I was expecting an error. This is not a new node. This is a new delta V I want here, of course. All right, this is way better. I didn't understand why the new delta V was underlined, but of course I didn't use it here, so this is much better. Okay, you see? Too quick. Yes, I have to delete the SAS. I don't have much light here. You can see the light of my craft. It is pointing a retrograde because we are lowering our periapsis. You see that the periapsis is exactly 100 kilometers. So we are waiting for start burn. Okay. And go. Burn and burn, and my periapsis is 100 kilometer, exactly 100 kilometer. See that? 99,999 meters, 0.8. So I have 20 centimeters less than 100. I think for 20 centimeters, I accept that periapsis. Okay, so back to the here to my code. I could write here go to from 100 apoapsis and then my node and then write this again, set my node to go to from, and now it's from my periapsis, and then those things. I could have write this directly to first decrease my periapsis from the apoapsis and then decrease the apoapsis from the periapsis, and to get a circular orbit. Okay, in your script you have to write all of this. Okay, but to show you, I wanted to do step by step. So now I just have to do that, and to delete all of that. Okay, and I can reboot here. Wait a second, I want to, in maneuver node here, I want to, yes, delete the clear screen here. Okay, I save that, reboot. So the initial velocity is, I think I did something wrong. No! Oh yes, I have here ETA apoapsis. I don't want to go to ETA apoapsis. I want to go to the ETA of the node. So this is ETA. The node is called here my node. Right. I have loaded my game to start over. Because this is on old save, I have my periapsis and my apoapsis at 94 and 95 kilometers. So I have changed my script here. I say, okay, from the apoapsis, I want to raise the, it's better to say from my periapsis, I want to raise the apoapsis at 500 kilometers. And then this 500 kilometers will become my new apoapsis. So from my new apoapsis, I want to raise the apoapsis at the periapsis at 500 kilometers. In the maneuver here, I change, this is my node ETA now. Okay, so this is the time before my node. Right, okay. So let's try this. Okay, so from my periapsis, I raise the apoapsis at 500 kilometers. So the delta V needed is 241.32. And the node 3, 2, 1, 0, and go. $500 kilometers, come on. Yes, good work. I don't need any connection to KSC because the script is running. So I can lose the connection, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now the ship is going here, and now the delta V is 215. Go. 500 kilometers. And this is not perfect because I have 10 centimeters, not 10 meters above my apoapsis, and here I have 10 meters below the periapsis I wanted. So it is not perfect, but it is a very, very good orbit. If you look at the eccentricity, 0. Okay, so I'm very happy with that. This is the end of that episode. I hope you enjoy it. So now you can, from the episode 24, you know how to create a maneuver node, and with that episode, you know how to calculate exactly the amount of delta V needed to burn prograde or retrograde. See you soon for our next episode. Bye bye.